50 feet below the murky surface of the South China Sea, a team of elite technical divers cleared a half-century of calcified marine growth from the canopy of a sunken military aircraft and found themselves looking at something that mathematically and historically should not exist. It wasn't the jagged destruction of a wartime crash that stopped them cold, but the absolute pristine preservation of a cockpit sealed from the inside, protecting a payload that was never recorded on any wartime manifest. The official military archives state this specific reconnaissance variant was dismantled in a hangar in California, yet here it rested on the seabed, its quiet presence rewriting the clandestine history of the Vietnam War. Finding this ghost ship solves a decades-old geographic disappearance, but it opens an entirely unmapped chapter of a shadow conflict fought completely in the dark. What lay waiting inside the belly of this titanium airframe was an anomaly so volatile that its discovery instantly triggered an international security lockdown. The wreck was detected entirely by accident during a routine commercial scanning operation designed to plot shifting underwater topography for deep-sea cables. Technicians operating a high-resolution side-scan sonar array noticed a sharply geometric shadow cutting through the organic contours of a subterranean ridge. When the diving team descended into the ocean's twilight zone, they expected to find a heavily fragmented debris field typical of a high-impact water landing. Instead, the aircraft sat perfectly upright on the sandy bottom, its hull virtually intact, as if it had been deliberately steered into a gentle terminal glide. The airframe belonged to a highly modified twin-engine electronic warfare platform, heavily camouflaged and completely devoid of standard military squadron markings. As the team illuminated the ghost ship with high-intensity underwater torches, they realized the emergency escape hatches were fully locked and the primary flight controls were set to a manual, locked-in descent path. Aviation archaeologists analyzing the initial telemetry noted that the aircraft's dimensions matched a top-secret detachment operating under Direct Intelligence Command, a unit whose flight logs remain classified to this day. Metallurgical assessment of recovered exterior fragments revealed that the fuselage wasn't standard aviation aluminum. It was reinforced with a proprietary titanium steel matrix designed to withstand extreme thermal stress from the inside out. The propellers were still perfectly pitched forward, indicating the engines were delivering full power the exact moment the plane met the water. Every piece of internal electronic equipment recovered from the forward nose cone bore evidence of deliberate, systematic sabotage. Serial numbers were deeply gouged out with mechanical tools, and the hard-wired encryption matrices had been melted down with thermite strips prior to submersion. The crew didn't just crash. They executed a meticulous, high-stakes purge of their own vessel while still airborne. The true escalation of the mystery occurred when the team successfully breached the main cargo bay door, utilizing specialized hydraulic rescue tools. The pressurized seal gave way with a violent eruption of trapped atmospheric gas, exposing an environment completely untouched by 50 years of corrosive saltwater. Resting in the center of the cabin, secured by heavy-duty shock-absorbing mounts, was a massive, lead-shielded containment cylinder. It bore no military stencils, no warning labels, and no operational instructions, but its independent closed-loop monitoring panel was still faintly operational. Its low-frequency alphanumeric display cycling through an automated countdown that had been running continuously since the late 1960s. When the divers brought their radiation and chemical detectors near the containment seams, the digital displays spiked erratically, indicating a highly concentrated, localized energetic signature emitting from deep within the core. This was not a standard tactical payload, nor was it a piece of conventional reconnaissance hardware meant for the battlefields of Southeast Asia. To explain how an unmapped aircraft carrying an active, unidentified nuclear or biochemical container ended up on the floor of the South China Sea, researchers are forced to weigh three deeply unsettling scenarios. The mainstream historical interpretation argues the flight was an emergency evacuation of a highly classified experimental laboratory located in a remote theater of operations. According to this perspective, as the base faced imminent compromise, the crew was ordered to jettison the prototype into the deepest available trench to prevent an adversarial superpower from reverse engineering the technology. A more radical alternative suggested by defense analysts posits that the aircraft was a rogue operation altogether. Proponents of this theory argue the flight was transporting an unauthorized, weaponized technological asset meant to escalate the conflict beyond recognized rules of engagement, operating entirely outside the constitutional chain of command. But there is a third, far more terrifying possibility, that the final flight path of this aircraft was a desperate, heroic act of mutiny. If the specialized crew on board realized the apocalyptic scale of the cargo they had been ordered to deploy, they may have collectively decided that the only way to save millions of lives was to consciously guide their aircraft into the dark embrace of the ocean floor, transforming their final mission into a permanent, self-inflicted burial. The moment the recovery team attempted to attach lifting cradles to bring the mysterious containment cylinder to the surface, the entire operation was abruptly and aggressively compromised. A fleet of unidentified naval vessels arrived at the coordinates, establishing a strict exclusion zone and demanding the immediate surrender of all digital storage drives, sonar maps, and physical artifacts. Within hours, the independent marine archaeology company found its corporate registration suspended, its funding completely frozen by international banking authorities under the guise of an emergency security audit. The technical divers were subjected to aggressive, multi-day debriefings by intelligence officials and forced to sign sweeping non-disclosure agreements that carry severe federal penalties. Prominent academic journals that had initially fast-tracked the publishing of the underwater structural data suddenly pulled the articles from their press cycles without a single word of technical explanation. This calculated institutional blackout confirms that the secrets resting within the calcified hull are not merely a matter of historical curiosity. They represent an active, unresolved threat to the modern geopolitical status quo. The silent silhouette of the aircraft remains resting in the deep, a stark reminder that the history preserved in textbooks is merely a curated facade covering a much larger, darker matrix of covert realities. The ocean floor serves as humanity's ultimate unvetted archive, holding the physical evidence of choices that were meant to be permanently erased from human consciousness. We are left to confront the reality that some secrets are buried not by the passage of time, but by a continuous, deliberate exertion of global power. If the discovery of a single forgotten aircraft can cause the immediate mobilization of international intelligence apparatuses, it forces us to ask how many other truth-altering anomalies are currently waiting in the abyssal dark, poised to shatter our understanding of the world we live in.